Alrighty, time once again to go out in the super duper cold, in the case of today, and get some kindling. Gonna go back to ye olde kindling resource and get some goodies. Unfortunately, it's been raining the past few days, and I don't think today's sunshine had the opportunity to dry everything out. I love our frolicking animals. There's a kitty too. Oh, he's hauling. Yeah, it's nice. It's been a pretty good day. Today I took the kids out on an adventure, off-roading, to go get some fuel lumber. And yeah, it was pretty fun. We got to see some pretty places. All right. I think this is going to be our tree. Maybe this one and the one behind it. Yeah. Alright, I've got you guys stuck in the tree right now, but yeah. So it was a pretty good day. But yeah, this kindling is these sticks are a little wet. They're kind of bendy, you know, like rubbery. That's the moisture getting in there. Alright, what else do we have here? This one, these two, that one looks good. Alright. Yep, still off that one tree, so we're doing pretty good here. You know, nature can provide. And hell, it pretty much does for us. We, as you can obviously tell, we get our warmth from the wood and the sticks that are out in the forest. And here, as soon as our greenhouse is done, we will be growing our own vegetables. If we had to, we could hunt the wildlife around here for meat. We also plan on next spring getting chickens, both egg chickens and meat chickens. So, we are going to be pretty darn set up. You know, in all reality, we're also going to have very little, you could say, running costs, you know, for our lives. Other than the initial major expensive, getting set up with solar and the well, yeah, both of those are very, very not cheap. And heck, the bus has absolutely been majorly more expensive than I initially thought it would be. But, you know, we're looking at, by this time next year, we're going to be almost entirely self-sustained. You know, we really won't have to, as far as like living essentials, we really won't have to go out into town very much. We even have a 300-gallon gasoline storage tank that we've yet to fill, but it will be here soon enough. And that'll contribute to that independent, I suppose you could call it, lifestyle. And you know, we really didn't choose this, actually. You could almost say I didn't want to come out here, because I was a personal banker. I worked for a large bank, and I was pretty set. We had just got pre-approved, actually, funny enough, to buy a home, and then out of nowhere we buy a 1949 Brill bus and go live like hippies out in the woods. Pretty funny. But, you know, I like it. I definitely do. It's worth it out here. You know, my kids get to grow up in just the coolest place. They don't have to breathe in all the chemicals and stuff in the air from the cars in the city and all that stuff. You know, and they get to experience so many cool things. Like, they get to discover new bugs. Hell, excuse my language, but heck, this year, you would not believe how many new, to me, kinds of bugs I saw. Just an incredible amount. It seemed like every day we were discovering a new local species of bug. And there's even times where, if it was a quiet, windless night, if you were to walk out in the evening of the summer, you know, 9, 10 o'clock, the trees would be humming to you. there'd just be this vibration in the air that you almost can feel, sort of. It's so intense. And it's all the millions and millions of beetles actually buzzing in the trees. So you go to the trees and you hear that, and it's remarkable. It is. And my children get to grow up with it. That's something that they're going to get to experience and learn from. And you know, they also really appreciate everything because of how little we live. Like, we before our solar power was finished, we didn't have steady electricity. I had set up an inverter set up in the bus to allow us to, you know, charge a computer or a phone here and there, but it wasn't, you know, electricity. I actually had to hook our car up every 3 or 4 days or so and let it run for about an hour, half hour to an hour to charge the batteries on the bus. You know, and especially our now 6-year-old, he understands that, you know. When the day we first were able to plug the computer into just the wall jack or the wall plug of the bus and watch a movie, he appreciated it. It wasn't something that he took advantage of, I guess you could say. He understood how awesome that was, that we now had the power to, at will, watch movies. We're actually even having trouble getting internet. Most satellite companies don't even service where we're at. And so, you know, no Netflix. We can't play our Xbox Live, which kind of sucks, admittedly. I did enjoy that. I haven't even held an Xbox controller in probably 6 months. That's crazy. Even our animals have adjusted very well. You know, our dog went from a rather small backyard to this incredible space with no limits, mind you. And she has done phenomenally. The only time she ever does what you would call run away is if she gets a little carried away chasing deer off the property. Sometimes once they make it off, she'll continue the chase and really hunt them down. Of course, they've got her outpaced, but still. And our cat was very much an inside cat. Spent little to no time outdoors at all. And now we don't even have a litter box. I mean, this cat frequently goes out, catches bugs and sometimes birds and lizards and stuff. No lizards this time of year, but still, it's cool to see the changes in everybody. All of us really have changed, and I think to the better. You know, I think we're better people for the experience of literally, absolutely literally starting from the bottom to the point of not having water or power. It's a humbling experience. Now, next time, however, when I learn that we're going to have weather coming up, I am definitely doing my kindling run before the weather. Gosh, I made such a big mistake by not getting kindling before we had weather these past few days. And it was awful, in particular this morning, trying to start the fire with wet kindling. It's just, lesson learned is what it was, you know? And that's funny, you know, for people out there that are watching with their heaters blowing right on them or something. You know, although we do have our secondary heating method, like I said, you know, in the morning or in the daytime, so, you know, starting in the morning, we use our stove. And if I've got wet kindling, that means no heat for me. That means I have to get over it, figure out a way to rise above the problem. Be the master of my situation. And get a fire started with wet wood. I did it this morning. It was a pain, and like I said, I learned my lesson. That's why I've got this. It's a little wet still, but it's going to dry out it's going to dry out in the warm bus. Alrighty, thanks for watching, guys.